Okay, so today we're going to learn about solving equations. So the first step is always to distribute anywhere there's a distribution. So the parentheses, if you look at number 1, you're going to distribute that 3 first. Then you're going to combine like terms. Then the next step is to add or subtract so that the variable ends up on one side and the number is on the other. Then you're going to either multiply or divide to get the variable by itself, and then check your answer. So if we look at number 1, we're going to distribute first. So we're going to distribute this 3. And so the 1 stays in front. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 3 times 3x is 9x. And the other side, there's no distribution. So we're just going to write it as it is. Then the next step is to combine like terms. So 1 plus 6 is 7. The 9x stays as it is. After we do the combine like terms, we're going to look to add or subtract so that the variables are one side and the number is on the other. So I'm going to move my variable to the left side. So I'm going to move the 9x to the left. It says minus, so I'm going to add 9x to both sides. So now I have 7 plus 18x equals negative 29. And now you keep adding or subtracting to get the variable, the number on the other side. So I need to move this 7. So I'm going to minus 7 from both sides. And that's going to give me 18x on the left. And negative 29 minus 7 is negative 36. And I'm going to divide by 18. And x is negative 2. And then to check my answer, I can go back up and I can plug it in. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And then plus 1 is negative 11. And over here, negative 9 times negative 2 is positive 18. Minus 29 is negative 11. And it checks. So let's look at example 2, which is down below. And we're going to distribute this. So the 3 times the x is 3x. The 3 times the 4 is 12. And then we have 3x plus 11. So move our terms in a minus 3x from both sides to move that to the left. 3x minus 3x is 0. So we have 12 left on this side. The 3x minus 3x here is gone, and we have 11. And then my variable disappeared, and I have a statement that says 12 equals 11. And 12 is not equal to 11, which means there is no solution. Now if we look at number 3, and we distribute, the negative 2 times the x is negative 2x. The negative 2 times the 3 is negative 6. And then over here we have negative 2x minus 6. If we move our x's to the same side by adding, those cancel. We get negative 6 equals negative 6. And that's always true, so it's all solutions. So let's look at number 4. If we distribute, 2 times a is 2a. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. And then we have the plus 7. And over here we have 5 times a is 5a. 5 times 2 is 10. Minus 3a and minus 19. And now we're going to combine our like terms. So over here, these are like terms. Negative 16 plus 7 is negative 9. Over here, the a's are like terms. 5a minus 3a is 2a. And the 10 and the 19, 10 minus 19 is negative 9. And now if I look, these are the same thing on both sides like we saw in the previous example. So if I subtract the 2a, I'm going to get negative 9 equals negative 9 are all solutions. Okay, and now if we look at number 5 and we distribute, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times negative w is negative 4w. 3 times 2 is 6w. And 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to move my terms, my letters to the left, so I'm going to minus 6w from both sides. 16 minus 10w equals, this cancels, 6. And then I'm going to minus the 16 from both sides. Negative 10w equals negative 10. Okay, so now I've got my letters on one side, my number on the other. I'm going to divide by negative 10. And w equals 1. For number 6, I don't have any distributive, so I go to step 2, combine like terms. x plus 2x is 3x plus 1. And then the 2 and the 3 can be combined. We have 3x plus 5. If I minus my 3x to get the terms on the same side, I get 1 equals 5, which again is not true, so no solution. And then the last one, if I distribute here, we get 6x plus 6 equals 6x plus 6. And once again, we can see that these are the same on both sides. So when I minus the 6x, I get 6 equals 6, or all solutions. So that is the steps to solving here, and these are some examples. Now you can use what we just did there and do your own problems on the next page, 1 through 8. Okay, so you should get these problems should be done like we did here, and then you should do the rest of them on your own and submit me your work on Teams.